me. Okay. While I get a little bit ready here, I'm going to have Christi tell you the history of where this next flavor, pickle Italian ice, came from. It's not as crazy as it sounds. Or maybe it is.
Yeah, not really. You're going to be excited to try this, right, Jeff?
Oh, no.
Oh, I tried peanut butter. You're trying this.
I did try it.
Fresh.
This morning. First thing in the morning, I walk in here.
Move this over a little.
I knew they were going to make pickle ices. First thing in the morning, I walk in. Christi says, well, here, try this. Because they had made it a few days ago, whatever. So I take it.
Don't.
You're right. First thing in the morning.
So we had a customer quite a few years ago who did sit in the back of the same class that you're in, and he talked about, he's in South Texas. Pickle ice was his huge favorite seller. It's all he talked about, and it sold a lot. He sold a lot of it. So it got us to thinking. So we were thinking of some new things to make for this class, a little pickle ice. So have you guys ever heard about athletes drink pickle juice because of cramps and stuff? The salt content helps. Well,
Hangover remedy too.
Yeah, that too. Chicken noodle soup as well. So in Oklahoma, when we lived there for about 10 years, my daughter, she is super heavy into sports and plays, softball, basketball. At the skating rink and at the ball fields, they had the big jar of pickles that they would serve, massive pickles on a stick or in a little paper wrapper. And they would save the juice from that, pour them in little containers, little, 3-ounce soufflés, put a lid on it, throw them in the freezer. And they would sell these by the dozens to these kids and called them a pickle pop. For $0.25 a piece, they'd take these pickle pops and you'd see 25 kids running around licking these cups with frozen pickle juice. That was not as tasty as what we're going to make. So that's what we came up with. And Steve and I did a trial run a couple days ago. It was quite eventful and fun. We made 2 batches to get it just right. So, it's not definitely for everyone, just like the peanut butter, but I hope you guys definitely will try it. And just goes to show that you can come up with some very crazy, ideas and flavors, and might not appeal to you, but it'll appeal to a lot more people than you think.
So it never hurts to try.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it hurts to try.
Nah, we're going to garnish it with a piece of bacon. So it'll be.
Yeah, that was Christi's idea. Is that let's put some bacon on here too.
Hey, that's what they do in Texas. It's either go big or go home, right?
That's right. So do you want to grind up the pickles and I'll get the water and the other stuff ready?
Yes. This has still got yuck on it.
Texas is unique. They sell a lot of jalapeno ice cream and a few other things like that. So it doesn't hurt to try. I mean, you never know. Jeff, are these your glasses up here?
Yes.
Okay, you don't want to forget them.
No, I won't.
You'd get home and you'd go, is that you, wife?
Rose?
I wouldn't go say her name.
Do you think it's more like a trend, like yogurt, or is it like cream ices?
Italian ices have been around for as long as I can remember, and I don't mind making a comment. I think I know more about Italian ice than anyone in the industry. There's a tagline to it. Babe Ruth once was asked about his batting prowess, and he said, "It ain't bragging if you can do it." But my family, myself, have put in over 90% of all the Italian ice in the world is because of us. And you go into any one of these stores and ask about it, and they'll all say the same thing. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, green, orange, what country they're from, anything. They'll all say the same thing. These recipes came from my great-great-grandfather from Genoa, Italy. And I go, yeah, sure. It's a Presbyterian from the Bronx, New York. It has not been to Genoa, Italy, but that's what they'll tell you. But since we moved down here 16 years ago, of course, even though we're all over the world, it has spread dramatically through the South. More and more people know about it. One of our big customers, Rita's, has helped to get people to know what it is. I don't think much of their products, personally. There's a franchise here in Florida called Jeremiah's that we got into business a number of years ago. They do a great product. And it's the individual stores that really do the best. You can make literally a fortune selling sugar water. To me, the cream ices are wonderful. They're an addition to Italian ice. What's beautiful about Italian ice is you can have a hot, humid day in Florida or eastern Long Island, and with no wind blowing, and you have an Italian ice, and it's going to cool you off. It's refreshing from the inside. It's like getting that big, huge garbage can of Gatorade poured all over you. Ice cream can make you thirsty, but Italian ices will cool you from the inside out. Go for it.
Did we sanitize the 200?
Oh, we're doing the 200.
Remember?
No, I cleaned the 300.
We're going to use the little guy, the CB200.
That's right. It's a small batch. Let me take care of that. You go ahead and grind them up.
Anybody else out there a pickle junkie like I am? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I get extra pickles on everything. Extra pickles with my pickles.
I think enough about Italian ice that a few years ago I formed a second corporation and trademarked a name and a slogan, and it's called Stefano's. I'm Stefano. If I'm going to teach all these people, if I'm going to be their great-great-grandfather, I might as well have an Italian name. What is that, gender or whatever, stealing or something? I don't know. Whatever it's called. But I am now Stefano, and it's Stefano's Brooklyn Ice the way you remember it. And that's my trademark and my corporation. And the goal is to set up in South Florida a wholesale business selling Italian ice to pizza parlors, bakeries, places like that. Because the only way you can get ice, for the most part in the state of Florida, and a lot throughout the South, is either you buy one of my machines or you buy it from one of my wholesale companies that use my machines. Rosati in Philadelphia, Via Veneto in Pennsylvania, Little Jimmy's in Jersey. And in teaching Christi about the business over the years, I taught her that there is no such state as New Jersey. It does not exist. No matter what you think, there is no New Jersey. It's Jersey. So you two can talk like a New Yorker. It's Jersey. So don't ever say New Jersey again. It doesn't exist.
It's almost Jersey.
Yeah, it's almost Jersey. Yeah. But that's how much I think of ices, is that I'm investing in it myself, and I'm going to put a lot of my relatives into running it. I'm way too busy here to even take on anything extra. But there is just such a market for it and such a demand. That's what we sell a lot of the CB350s for. I can put someone into business for about $25,000 or less in a store doing Italian ices. But a lot of my people start off with a push cart and a CB350. And what happens to them is people come up to them and they get this glass-eyed look in their eyes and they go, I wish I could do that. And my customer, who's making his own ices and has got one push cart, says, you can't do this. These formulas came from my great-great-grandfather in Genoa, Italy. And then they tell the second not lie, and that is, you can't do this. You have to buy a $1,000 minimum order from Little Jimmy up in Jersey, in Jersey. And you have to have a warehouse about the size of this place in order to store that much. Then they get to the truth. And the truth is what I told them they should be doing is tell them, you like my product? You want to get into the business? I'll tell you what. Here are three places that make push carts. You call them up, you buy a push cart, and you want my ice, you call me on Monday and tell me how many tubs of mango, cherry, lemon you want, and we'll have them for you on Friday. You come to my place, my garage, and you pick them up. We will freeze these tubs down to 10 below, which would make this a solid block of ice. Couldn't scoop it with a hammer and chisel. And you drive them, you put them in your igloo cooler, you drive them 10 miles, 20 miles to your home, and you go out this weekend and sell it in your park. And you control the product. You sell it for $40 cash, no credit cards. Well, maybe we'll take credit cards. No checks, no open accounts, no broken promises, just $40. And you will make about $230 off of this, which nets you $180 out of every single tub you sell. And then I so control the market, I say, oh, and by the way, you see over there, that's Prospect Park. That's my park. That's where my cart is. I don't want to see you in my park, or I won't sell you ice. So you can control the neighborhood, but you will pretty soon drop even having your cart out there, because you'll have 20 people who are buying ice from you and paying $40 a tub. So you're now a little Jimmy's. You're only serving a small area, but you know what? You can teach your relatives how to do this. They could do it in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. They could do it in Amarillo, Texas. Anywhere anybody wants to go, they can take sugar, water, and flavor. And my formulas are up there. There's dozens and dozens of them, and they're for free. I call my first one my secret lemon ice formula. Guess what? It's in this machine. It's 2 pounds of sugar, 4 quarts of water, and a quart of lemon juice, and that's it. I mean, it couldn't get any easier. Do I need to rinse that?
I did.
Oh, you're so fast. Okay. And so what do we have next? Pour everything in the water.
Yep. Well, I'm going to do the water, the juice, and the sugar. And
why don't you go ahead and tell them what you're doing?
Okay. So we're going to add the pickle juice and the water and the sugar all together, and then we're going to pour it in there. So we have our 12 ounces of water, our 24 ounce of the pickle juice. So here we go. Anybody cringing yet? Sugar.
And then as you're in the Italian ice business, you can also do the cream ices, as Jeff just showed you. It's also a natural to go into the Millennial Dairy Free that we did this morning, because that's just coconut water, cream of coconut, sugar, and the flavor that you're going to do. I mean, it's the same as making Italian ice. So you can do all these products, and except for the cream ice, you know, there's no dairy. And so there's not a lot of cost to get into the business.
Do you recommend stabilizers with Italian ice?
You don't need it. If you freeze it solid, that's the greatest. Cold is the greatest stabilizer in the world. And if you're going to sell it on a small basis, if I was doing Jeff's store and I'm going to have a bunch of flavors, I might use a natural stabilizer. There are several of them out there. I think I've got a couple at my website. So that's not a problem. But otherwise, if you're going to make it and sell it this weekend, you don't need a stabilizer. And if you freeze it solid, like I'm going to sell to you wholesale, you don't have to do anything to stabilize it. It isn't going to fall apart. If you make it all fresh, after 3 days, maybe 4, the flavor will bleed to the bottom of the can. But if you're using, if you're doing a push cart, you're going to go again, like this morning, you're going to go by the weather. Beautiful, sunny, hot weekend coming up. We know we're going to sell 5-6 tubs of lemon ice. So we pull 4 out and see how the weekend goes. So by Saturday night, we decide, or maybe even if we sell it on Friday and Saturday, maybe Saturday noon, we start looking at, oh, we're going to need more. You become attuned to the weather. That's all it is. It's real simple. You only need stabilizer if you're going to keep it 3 months, 4 months, and that's not what I do. I make fresh product. Fresh, though still building an inventory. I don't want to be like Italy, where I make it at 9 o'clock this morning, and when I come to your store at 11:30, they say, oh, you should have been here at 9:30. We've already sold out. Come back tomorrow. And you go, so what? There's another gelateria down the street. Americans, if you have a business and you sell a certain flavor like pickle, Italian ice, you better have it in stock all the time, because I only come to visit you in Amarillo once every 2 years, and I expect to have my pickle Italian ice. So it's really that simple. It's all about inventory control, not the product itself. Sugar, water, and flavor. I was speaking to a woman this morning, and her food costs are through the roof. She's telling me how she has this imported puree, strawberry puree, and how much it's costing her. And I said, that's nuts. I go down to the supermarket, to the ice cream section, and I buy store brand bags, frozen bags of strawberries. They were picked at the height of freshness. I sit them on the table and thaw them, throw them into the machine, let the Emery Thompson grind them up, and I got the world's greatest strawberry Italian ice. That's simple, nothing more. But it's an incredible way to make money. And you need anything, or was it?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I always tell people in the Italian ice business, there's an obvious thing about it. It's for the most part a cash business, a lot of cash. So when it comes down to the IRS and you have a cash business, they don't really care how much you make. They care that you pay something. You know, give something unto Caesar, and pay them something every year. Just say, yeah, I made $5,000 profit. I'm going to pay $5,000 on it. They don't care if you're stuffing your fifth mattress with $20 bills. They care that you pay your taxes every year.
Yeah.
So it's important that you do that. I had a customer, I can't name names, but he was a large man and he had his name on the shirt and the shirt was not very clean. And he gets called into a audit with the IRS. And it was the auditor is sitting there asking him a bunch of questions, and he finally looks at it. And he's wearing the Rolex with the diamond bretzel around it, all the diamonds. I have no idea what that costs. He looks at his watch to the federal agent and says, "Hey lady, can you hurry this up? My driver's waiting for me." And they threw the book at him, and rightfully so.
I'd like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
And Jeff, it's been great having you here. Thank you so much. Great flavors today.
Yeah, it's a learning experience. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hey, Jeff. Jeff, I'll see you in June.
8 weeks, I'll be right back here.
All right. Very good.
Bye, Jeff.
Good to see you.
See you, Christi.
See ya.
So yeah, I think the Italian ice business is the best thing you can go into because it's low cost. It can be set up anywhere. You don't need a great location. My old location was the South Bronx at my factory, and I could have put a cart out in front of my building and made $1,000 a day selling ice. There's just by the sheer volume of the number of people. It's also you can price it for any neighborhood. Ice cream is more expensive than sugar water, so you have to get a certain high price. I want to price it. You're still here.
I just have one quick thing to say.
I'm blind in this eye, so I don't see over there. Yeah.
I know you mean
For what?
sandwiches.
No, it's on me.
No,
Yeah,
that's silly.
yeah. No, put it on the next horse at Hialeah.
Oh, stop.
Buy me a Bitcoin.
A what?
Buy me a Bitcoin.
Yeah. 48,000.
No, I want a piece of a Bitcoin.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
tell you. Here's a piece of
Just give me a bite.
Okay, here. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, that's worth too much.
Oh, here, you can tell them about the squeeze cup.
Why don't you?
Because or you keep
I'll
an eye
watch
on
that. You talk about the
All right.
squeeze cup.
Well, Steve had introduced me to the squeeze cup. So this is a New York staple. If you go down to New York and you get an ice, you don't need a spoon, you don't need anything. You put your Italian ice in this paper cup. It's a pleated solo cup. And as you eat it, you squeeze the bottom and work the icy all the way up. You can sell that for a couple bucks a piece, and it costs you 8 cents to make it. Yeah.
And those cost nothing. And they're so much fun because you're squeezing it up from the bottom.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to have you do. And Christi's husband made a special treat of a piece of bacon with each one to just
half
stick in
a
it. Christi thought that would be a fun idea, so
Yeah.
we asked Mickey to do it, and he did.
Bacon.
I don't know how he did. I mean, I would have eaten 90% and sent over 2 strips.
Well, he had to keep me and Emily away from it. But, the CB200, that's a great little machine. It's very popular in restaurants, high-end restaurants, hotels, pizzerias, push carts. It has a 115 volt, so you can just take it around anywhere with you and plug it into any outlet, just like you would your microwave or your toaster. So it's a very fun machine.
Here we go.
All right, we ready?
And it's using all the same components of the bigger machines.
Makes about 3 quarts. We didn't put this one at max.
No, because we didn't want to have too much left over.
It really, well, I know my Pickle fan back there is going to really love it.
Okay, just look at the color of that. It's beautiful. I'm showing it to the camera. Isn't that gorgeous? If you like pickle.
If you like pickle.
All right, here we go.
I'll let you pass them out.
Okay,
Or
but
you
we're
wanna
going to
just-
ask you not to try it until I say go, because we do want to get a picture. Does anybody not want their picture taken? You don't want your picture taken?
Oh, no, just a special my head.
Oh. Can't take you to an auction, can we? You know, okay, 50,000 to the man over there.
Do I have enough cups out?
No.
Did I count? How many are here?
Where are they?
Right there.
Oh, right in front of me. Oh, I don't know. We'll give it to the office staff. I'm sure they'll be thrilled.
They've already endured.
Now, how are you doing the
two-
bacon? You just,
Yeah, you can put a whole piece, or you can break it in half.
I think, break in half only because it would topple over. And that way, we get BLTs
Well,
for lunch tomorrow.
Oh yeah, some tomato.
Just tell Mickey that we ate it all.
So, what is everybody anticipating it's going to taste like? Anyone?
I can tell you the bacon's going to be great.
I think it'll be pretty refreshing because if you think about like a Gatorade or something, they have tons of salt and tons of sugar, and so like,
Salty.
The idea of hydration after sports games is really a great thought.
I think you're a real optimist.
3, 6, 9, 11, 4.
I'm from New York. If it's not lemon ice, we're not eating it. We are so lemon ice oriented in New York that if we want a cherry ice, we say, give me a cherry lemon ice. You know, lemon ice is the general, generic term of it. Mike, are you going to have one?
I'll have some bacon.
Okay. Well, it comes with a free ice. Is that enough?
I think so. Well, all right. Are we ready? You want to pass it, or you want me to?
You go ahead.
Okay. Nobody try it yet. You can sniff it, but. You got your camera ready, Steve?
I'm getting it ready.
You're welcome. You look so scared.
I've seen Dill pickle before. I've never tried.
All right, are we ready?
Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Pretty good.
I don't see anybody throwing up.
So what do you think?
Bacon's really good.
It's sweeter than I thought it would be, actually.
It's not.
I
It's
think it'll be more better.
Excuse me?
Was more better because the pickle, the juice,
Yeah.
is very sweet.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, we were
for
going
sure.
for a sweet and sour approach. The first one we made didn't have enough sugar in it. It was just predominantly pickle. But I hear about the jalapeno, and when you find out about it, yes, it's got jalapeno in it, but it's hot and yet sweet. So,
I like it.
all right.
Good.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Would
All right.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
This would totally appeal to a lot of kids. Speaking of the adult ice creams, and then the kids see pickle ice. I know here in Florida at a couple ball fields, I have seen the pickle pop thing where they freeze the pickle juice and stuff, but it's not going to market for everybody. But this just shows that even the smallest machine can make the craziest things, and if you wanted, you can up it to the big machines, and there's really nothing you can't make. You find something in the store, like Steve says, you dote around in the store and you're like, I wonder what this is going to taste like. And you grab it and you can go home and make it. And the worst that can happen is you eat your mistakes, literally. You know?
You see what everybody's doing? They're using the bacon as a spoon.
I did.
I think that's a great idea, so that you're eating the bacon with the ice. That
was
might
better.
have to become a prerequisite of selling the ice. It's got to come with a piece of bacon.
That's the way I like it, nice and crispy. Like,
Oh yeah, extra crispy.
Yeah.
I can see kids ordering this and daring people. I dare you to eat one of this.
Yes, I think so too.
Well, and the thing about the pickles too is Clausen pickles are always the best. They're my favorite. You find these in the refrigerated section only. These are not, down the aisle with the other pickles. Best Made is another big brand of really, really good pickles. Those are like the restaurant industry uses those. So don't ever be afraid to go crazy. We have a customer that made it on Business Insider, and he has a shop in California, Mashti Malone's, very huge customer of ours, and he makes ice cream with rose water. And that was one of the ones you watched where he took the piles of fresh mint leaves and was shoving it into the machine.
Yeah. I immediately tried to go find piles of
mint
leaves.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Rose water and mint leaves. Never would have guessed it.
So don't be afraid to try different things. You don't know what's going to work. And at the very least, once your business is up and running, whatever it is, if you just want to liven it up for a weekend, just put a sign out, Pickle Italian Ice coming, for one day, and just sell it for one day and then take it off the menu. If they really love it, bring it back next month.
Yeah.
But the idea, like I said this morning, is as a salesman, the idea is they already like you. You just want to remind them that you're there and a reason to come back. And so if something as silly as this works, then you want to do it.
Yeah.
And that's it.